शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Let us chant the Mangala Shloka of the text. Akhandananda Sambodho Vandanadyasya Jayate Govindantamaho Vande Chidanandatanung Gurum. We have done up to Shloka 37. Shloka 38 is missing in the PDF that I have shared. Therefore, a few minutes back, I have shared a page in the WhatsApp in Moksha online group for Shloka 38. You can refer to it in your smartphone. Shloka 38. Salokya samipya sarupatadi भेदस्तु सत्कर्म विशेष सिद्धः न कर्म सिद्धस्य तु नित्यतेति विचार्य को वा विरतिर्न याति। In order to strengthen our vairagya, we should constantly think about the limitation of the material pursuit, the material objects of enjoyment, the material pursuit includes even the higher lokas. Going to the higher loka also is included in the material pursuit, because even if you go to the higher loka like Swarga etc., it is not moksha. Going to Swarga is not moksha, because even if you go to Swarga, you will have to return at one point of time or the other. Then there is another argument. According to some people, if you perform certain special type of karma with the bhakti, karma with a lot of bhakti, lot of devotion to the Ishvara, you can go to the loka of the Ishvara, which they call Vaikuntha or Kailasa. Some people go to Vaikuntha. If they are Vishnu Bhaktas, they call it Vaikuntha. If they are Shiva Bhaktas, they call it Kailasa. These two lokas are found in the Puranas. Then certain other acharyas, they talk about even certain other lokas like Goloka Vrindavana, etc. And according to them, in order to get moksha, you don't need jnana. Without jnana, you can attain moksha. You just do some special type of karma and special type of meditation, upasana, then you go to that loka. And even in that loka, there are four gradations. They call it four types of mokshas or four type of mukti. According to them, it is mukti. And they have named it. First one is called Salokya. Second one is called Samipya. Third one is Sarupya. And the fourth one is Sayujya. Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya, and Sayujya. Based on the intensity of one's karma as well as bhakti, these four types of mokshas are possible. If one is a great bhakta, then he can even get Sayujya. Sayujya means he will go and join the body of Bhagavan. He will become a part of Bhagavan's body. Go and join the body of Bhagavan. It is called Sayujya. A little lesser is Sarupya. He will not join Bhagavan's body. Instead, he will get the same form as Bhagavan. Supposing he goes to Vaikuntha and he gets a Sarupya, that means he will become a miniature Vishnu. He will look like another Vishnu, a little smaller, but he will look like Vishnu. It is called Sarupya. And also he will get some powers equivalent to Bhagavan. And suppose his punya, his sadhanas are even less intense, then he will get samipya. He will not get the form of Bhagavan, but he will be able to sit closer to Bhagavan in Vaikuntha. It is called samipya. And the fourth one is called salokya. Not fourth one, according to my order, it is first one. I have reversed the order. So, salokya, even lesser sadhana, but enough to go to the higher loka, enough to go to Vaikuntha. Then he will get salokya. He is in the same loka as Bhagavan. It is called salokya. But he may sit a little away. He may be able to see Bhagavan, but from a distance, in the same loka. It is like going to a temple. In some temples, free darshan. Free darshana means there is a separate queue. You can see Bhagavan from a distance. It is like a salokya. Then there is another ticket. With the ticket you get darshan. It is samipya. You can go closer to Bhagavan and have darshan. You are allowed a little closer with the 50 rupees ticket. Then there is another darshan, that is you pay 100 rupees, even more money. Then you get, even they put a garland to you, Bhagavan's garland. So it is like a sarupya. And the last one, if you have done highest amount of sadhana, then sayujya. According to them, these four are the mukti. Moksha or mukti means these four. You go to higher loka like Vaikuntha or Kailasa, and there you get these four types of mokshas, these four type of muktis. That is it, according to them. It is the ultimate goal. There cannot be any higher goal. Some people think so. But now the author says, perhaps you may be able to get to salokya, etc. If you have done karma, special type of karma with bhakti, you might as well be able to get to salokya, etc. But the problem is, even the salokya, etc. are not moksha. Even they cannot be considered moksha. Why? Even if you get such positions, even if you go to Vaikuntha or Kailasa, it is going to be temporary. It cannot be Nitya. It cannot be eternal. What is the reason? The author gives the reason because even Salokya, etc., are a result of karma. You have done some special type of karma. As a result of the karma, you attain Salokya, etc. The general rule is that any effect of karma is temporary. Yadyat kritakam tattat anityam. Yadyat kritakam, all that is kritaka. Kritaka means product of karma. All that is product of karma is anitya, is temporary. It may be long lasting, but that does not mean it is a permanent. It may last for many years, thousands of years. Still, it is not eternal. At some point, one may have to vacate the place, even Vaikuntha or Kailasa. Therefore, it is not Nitya. Therefore, a true Viveki gets Vairagya even towards going to such lokas like Vaikuntha, etc. Not only he gets Vairagya towards Swarga, he gets Vairagya towards even Vaikuntha or Kailasa. I am not interested in going to Vaikuntha also. I am not interested in going to Kailasa also. That is the extent of Vairagya a mumukshu should have. See, Salokya Samipya Sarupatadi Bhedastu Satkarma Vishesha Siddhaha. Salokya Samipya Sarupata or Sarupya. There is Adi. Adi means Sayujya. All these varieties, Bheda, all these varieties of results, which some people consider as moksha, they are the product of certain special type of karma. Satkarma Vishesha Siddhaha. They are the results of special types of Satkarma, certain good karmas, like japa, puja, upasana, etc. But unfortunately, karma siddhasya nityata na. Karma siddha, any result of karma Any product of karma does not have nityatva. It cannot be eternal. When one thinks so, when one analyzes so, he gets vairagya. Vicharya ko va viratinayati. When this is understood, one gets vairagya even towards higher lokas, like even Vaikuntha and Kailasa. Next loka. Yatrasti loke gati taratamyam uccavachatvanvitamatra tatkritam. Yatheha khal yatheha tadvat khalu dukkhamastiti alocya ko va viratinayati. Now, the author is showing that even in Swargadi Loka, there is dukkha, there is sorrow. Generally, we think Swarga means all pleasure. There is no sorrow in Swarga. There is no pain in Swarga. People might think so. Then the author says, it is not true. Even in Swarga, there will be dukkha. Perhaps the dukkha is not like what we experience in human life, but there are other types of dukkha, other types of pain, other types of sorrow. It is like a poor man. A poor man thinks that the rich people don't have any problem. Rich people don't have any worries. Rich people don't have any tension. They have no sorrow. They are all happy. A poor man might think so. A poor man may have certain types of problem. He has to struggle for his survival. A rich man may not have that kind of problem. But it does not mean a rich man is happy. He has his own sets of problems, his own sets of worries, his own set of tensions, perhaps even more tension than a poor man. In the same manner, we human beings think there is no problem in higher world, in Swarga, etc. But of course, in this shloka, the author is addressing a person who believes in Swarga. who believes in the Shastra Pramana. Nowadays, people hardly believe in such things. For them, it is not relevant. Those who believe there is a Swarga, of course, the author is not dismissing the belief. There is Swarga because Shastra Pramana says there is Swarga. We accept there is Swarga. And in Swarga there is greater pleasure also. Even that is not challenged. But if people think Swarga is all pleasure, it is not true. Even in Swarga, there is dukkha. The author is establishing this fact with the logic. What is the logic? Paralokaha dukkhavan. There is dukkha in paraloka. Paralokaha dukkhavan. There is dukkha in paraloka also. The reason, the author gives a reason. Taratamyavatvat. Because even in the paraloka, there is taratamya. There is gradation. Even in Swarga, there is gradation. Somebody has a higher position, somebody has a lower position, somebody has a bigger house, somebody has a smaller house. Even in Swarga, there is taratamya. Wherever there is taratamya, there will be dukkha. If there is inequality, there will be dukkha. Because always we compare ourselves with others. Human beings have a natural tendency to compare with others. And when we start comparing, we cannot be happy. The other person is happier than me. The other person has more money than me. The other person is more intelligent than me. And so on and so on. We keep comparing. And when there is comparison, all happiness is gone. Therefore, even the higher loka is like this world only. In this world, there is taratamya. Everyone is not uniform. Everyone is not the same. And everyone cannot be same also. That is why Marxism failed. Therefore, the logic is paralokaha dukkhavan. There is dukkha in paraloka. Why taratamyavatvat? Because there is taratamya. There is inequality in the paraloka, gradation in the paraloka. Ihalokavat, just like in this world. See the shloka. Yatrasti loke gatitaratamyam uccavachatvanvitam atra tatkritam. Yatra loke gatitaratamyam asti. In the paraloka, there is gatitaratamya. Gatitaratamya means phalataratamya. The phala you get in the higher loka is unequal. There is inequality. Somebody gets a better phala in the paraloka, better position, etc. And tatkritam uccavachatvanvitam. And on account of that, there is a sukha taratamya also. Uccavachatvam means superiority and inferiority in terms of pleasure. I am superior, I am inferior. All this comparison also starts. Yatha iha, just like in this world. Tadvat khalu dukkham asti. In the same manner, there is dukkha also. Just like in this world there is dukkha, even in paraloka there is dukkha because there is unevenness, inequality, then comparison, then dukkha. It is there in the higher world also. Alochako va viratinnayati. When we think so, definitely we will get vairagya towards Swargadi Loka also. First of all, one should get vairagya towards this loka. Then only one can think of getting vairagya towards Swarga. The author is talking about vairagya in Swarga, thinking that one has already got vairagya towards this world. But that itself is not easy. Even to get vairagya towards what one has is also not very easy. We need to work on ourselves by doing constant vichara, constant dosha darshanam is required. Only then one can get vairagya. Shloka 40. Ko nama loke purusho viveki vinashvare tuchha sukhe grihadau kuryadratim nityamavekshamano वृथैव मोहान् म्रियमाणजन्तून्. A Viveki should observe how people live in the world, what kind of life people are living in the world. A Viveki should observe. When you observe, you get to know that many people live in moha, live in delusion. Delusion that through material accomplishments they can make their life meaningful. By making more money, my life might become meaningful. By getting more name and fame, my life will become more meaningful. And so on and so on. But one day, everybody has to die. The death may come after a few days, or after a few years, or after a few decades. One day, everybody has to die. When the person dies, what is his net gain? Somebody has accomplished a lot of things in this world. He has made real estate, he has made wealth, accumulated a lot of wealth, accumulated name and form, name and fame. What is the net gain? The net gain is what he can carry forward. What can he take after death with him when he travels to the higher loka is the net gain. If you analyze, the net gain of any material pursuit is zero, because one does not take anything. Therefore, the author says, on account of moha, on account of the delusion that the material pursuit will make my life meaningful, people live a futile life, a meaningless life, and they die meaninglessly without really adding any meaning to their lives. A Viveki can see this when he observes the lives of people. And when he makes such observation, why at all will he have attachment to any material wealth like house, etc.? This is the author's question. See the verse. Loke, in this world, one can observe that people are dying regularly. We keep hearing the news of somebody's death, somebody known to us, or also many people who are not known to us. People keep dying. And how they die? Mohat, on account of moha, vritha eva. They conduct their life in vain, without any, without adding any true meaning. Mriyamana jantun, the people die avekshya, nityam avekshya. One can observe it regularly on daily basis. When this is observed, that people die without taking anything with them, without carrying anything with them. Ko nama viveki purushaha, which viveki purusha, vinashware tuchha sukhe grihadau ratim kuryat, which viveki can have attachment to the material wealth, the material possession, like a house, etc. Vinashware, the house, etc. are vinashwara. Everything in this world is perishable. We cannot carry it with us. In that sense, everything is perishable. Tuchha sukhe, and it cannot give any great happiness. It will give only tuchha sukha, insignificant happiness. Grihadau, house, etc. House, money, relations, and so on. Ratim kuryat, who will have attachment when he analyzes this? As long as we do not inquire into the nature of the world, we may have attachment. Shloka 41. Sukham kimastyatra vicharyamane गृहेऽपि वा योषिति वा पदार्थे मायातमोऽन्धीकृतचक्षुषो ये त एव मुह्यन्ति विवेकशून्याः. As long as one does not have viveka, one thinks that the material wealth, material objects can give true happiness. When there is vichara, when we inquire into the true nature of the objects and understand their true nature, they cannot give permanent happiness. Instead, in the long run, they can give problem only. When this is understood, one can easily lose attachment to the objects. See, vicharyamani, when we inquire, when we inquire into the true nature of the objects, what are the objects? The author mentions two objects. Grihe piva, house. One object is house. Another is yoshit, a woman, wife. House stands for all insentient objects, and yoshit stands for all sentient beings from whom we expect permanent happiness. Yoshitiva padarthe, when we inquire into their true nature, kim sukham asti, atra kim sukham asti, what sukha is there? After inquiry, one starts wondering how at all one can expect happiness from this. How stupid it is to expect happiness from this. Before doing vichara, he was bewildered. His mind was blinded on account of Maya. Maya tamondhikrita chakshusho ye Maya tamaha andhikrita chakshushaha. The people whose vision is blindfolded on account of the Maya tamaha, Maya which is like a darkness. Te eva, only such people who are viveka shunya, who do not have viveka, muhyanti, they are deluded to think that wife will give me happiness, house will give me happiness, and so on and so on. 42. Avicharitaramaniam sarvamudumbaraphalopamam bhogyam ajnanamupabhogyam natu tajnanam yoshiti va padarthe. Sarvam bhogyam. Every material object of enjoyment is avicharita ramaniya. It looks attractive as long as one does not do vichara, as long as one does not probe into its true nature. It looks attractive, it looks beautiful, it looks promising. So, sarvam bhogyam avicharita ramaniyam. Until there is no vichara, it looks ramaniya, it looks attractive, beautiful. The author gives an example. Udumbara phalopamam. It is like Udumbara phala. Udumbara means fig, cluster fig. Udumbara. The fig fruit. It looks very attractive when we see in the tree. It looks like a nice fruit on account of its color, etc. It looks attractive. But when we open it and try to eat, there is no much taste in it. Neither there is much taste nor there is much content. No much stuff falls. That is Udumbara Phala. Every object of enjoyment is like Udumbara Phala. Until we do vichara, it looks attractive. If I get this, I am going to be happy. People think so. And after getting that object, most often people say it is not as pleasurable as I thought. They understand it. Ajnanam upabhogyam. The material objects are upabhogya. They are pleasurable only for ajnanis, avivekis. Nato tajnanam yoshiti va padarthe. But the tajnas, people who know their nature, yoshiti va padarthe, in any object like woman, etc., they do not have attachment. They lose all the desire. They do not attract a viveki. 43. Gate pito ye sushirangkuliro hatum hyashakto mriyate vimohat. यथा तथा गेह सुखानुषक्तो विनाशमायाति नरो भ्रमेण. People in general are attached to various objects in life, like relations, wealth, position, and so on and so on. At some point, they understand that the object I am holding on to is not giving me pleasure, not giving me happiness. Instead, it is giving me pain. Perhaps people understand this. The object is no longer giving me happiness. Instead, it is giving me problem. The relations are giving me problem. The position is giving me problem. At some point, people feel it. Despite that, they are reluctant to give it up. Despite experiencing pain, people hold on to objects. And ultimately, they lose all their time trying to convert their possessions or relations so that they can be they can give them happiness, they can be pleasurable. They try to change the variables in life into their favor, and in this process they lose their life. They spend their lifespan in vain. The author gives an example of a crab example. What does a crab do? A crab lives in water, perhaps shallow water. Suppose in rainy season, there is a stream flowing, shallow stream. Then the crab goes to the stream, and under the stream, it digs a hole and starts living there in the hole. The hole is favorable to crab's life as long as the water is flowing. When the water dries up after rainy season, then the hole is no longer livable to the crab, because the crab has to live only in water. If there is no water, its body will dry up and it will die. But even after the rainy season, when the stream has dried up, the crab is attached to its hole. It is not ready to give up its hole. It says, "This is my home. How can I leave it?" And then it dries up there and dies. This is the fate of a crab. In the same manner, we human beings also remain attached to various objects despite the objects giving us pain, giving us trouble. We hold on to them and thereby fail to make our lives meaningful. See, kuliraha means crab. Toye gate api, even when the water is gone, even when the water has dried up. Sushiram hatum ashaktaha. Sushiram, its hole, the hole which it has dug to make its home. Hatum ashaktaha, it is unable to leave it. Therefore, vimohat mriyate, on account of vimoha, on account of delusion, that the hole will keep me safe. Mriyate, it dries up and dies. Yatha, this is the example. Tatha, in the same manner. Geha sukhanushaktaha, a person attached to the pleasure of geha, pleasure of house, household happiness. Naraha, that kind of human being also. Brahmena vinasham ayati. Brahmena, with the delusion. Vinashamayati. He ends up in vinasha, meaning he does not lead a meaningful life on account of his attachment to the objects that seem to give him happiness. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.